It's vegan recipes with Pat and Emily.
Hi, today on It's Vegan, we are gonna make some vegan egg rolls.
Emily, I learned this recipe from an old friend of mine named Joy. Do you remember Joy?
I sure do.
Well, Joy does not do anything traditionally, and she does not make egg rolls traditionally, but they are so delicious.
They sure are.
Let's show everybody how to make them.
Sounds good.
Okay, what you have to do is cook the filling, and usually a lot of oil is used, but I'm just going to spray it a little bit. Even though this is a Teflon pan, it's probably a good idea to spray it a little bit. So I will be putting my vegetables in this large skillet. I have broccoli slaw, bean sprouts, some onions, celery.
And there are water chestnuts too, aren't there?
Yes, there's water chestnuts. And in true Joy fashion, nothing is measured, but I will tell you there's probably about 3 cups of the broccoli slaw, a can of bean sprouts, a can of chopped up water chestnuts, and probably a half of a medium onion, and about a cup of celery. Get this all cooked up. I'm going to turn it up. I want it to cook pretty quickly. One thing we're doing while we're cooking it is we want to get the water content out of this so our egg rolls remain crispy.
Don't want a soggy egg roll.
Nope. And I can tell you this, when you're cooking these and people know you're making them, they're going to come around the kitchen.
About how long do you want to cook that?
I'm going to cook this probably close to 10 minutes, but in between there I will be adding some rice. I just have to look at the vegetables and see if I think they're cooked but still crispy. In fact, I might just test it. Okay, they're cooked but still a little bit crispy. Now what Joy did that was so untraditional is she would put brown rice. This was probably 3 cups. I'm not sure I'll be putting all of that in there. And what she used that brown rice to do was to hold the soy sauce. Because Joy would put a ton of soy sauce. So you can see that was probably a good 1/4 cup. And that's all the rice I'm going to put in it. It's important though to taste the rice and see if it has enough flavoring. It needs more soy sauce. Keep your skillet on high while you're doing this.
You wouldn't have to use soy sauce. You could use Tamari or aminos.
You could, and you could really dilute some miso paste instead.
Oh, that's a good idea. That'd probably be tasty.
It has a nice strong flavor. Now you could use other vegetables and other ingredients in here. You know, when Joy set that tradition of adding rice, I think you could add a lot of different things in here. This is done. Now I want to show you something else that Joy did. What Joy would do is she would take these vegetables and rice and put it in a strainer, because if there happened to be any extra liquid, we wanted that to drain off before we started making the egg rolls. Emily, I'm going to show you how to roll these.
All right.
It's very important that you keep these covered as long as possible. So I'm just going to push the plastic back down. These are wonton, but we like mini egg rolls. And I want to show you, I'm holding my sleeves up with rubber bands, so when you're cooking, you might want to do that sometime too. I put my finger in this mixture of water and flour. It makes a paste. I'm going to go all the way around. This is actually going to be the glue. You're going to use about that amount, and that might be hard to even get in there. Squeeze your filling together, and then I bring in the 2 corners, and I pat down the glue, putting this up. Now all of that's glued in, and I'm pushing my filling back to that pocket, and I'm rolling it.
Looks good.
I'm looking at them. I'm going to squeeze everything and make sure everything's sealed up. Do you want to try one?
I'm going to try a big one.
Okay, try a big one.
How much filling am I going to put in this big one? You want to show me?
Yes, I'll show you. Now with this big one, you're probably not going to roll it corner to corner.
Oh, these go different.
They go a little bit different. I would say that's all the filling. You're going to bring in the sides and then get a little more glue. So important, this is all sealed up. Then you're going to Hold it. Keep those vegetables in place. Get that part glued. Hold it. Looks like I might want to get a tiny more glue just to be absolutely sure. And I'm calling it glue, but you know it's not glue. It's flour and water. There you go. Look at it. Make sure everything's sealed. Now you can try a triangle. You know, sometimes that's how you'll see them. Do what works for you. These stick together. You might think that you have one.
Yeah, I got two that are stuck together here.
They're so fine. It's really fun to make these with friends. And Joy and I would make these when you guys were just little kids. We'd get together at her house or my house, and we would just cook up a bunch of these. You want to try the triangle fold on that?
Since you asked.
So you can see I'm pushing it in. Now I'm rolling it. Now here, I just put a little more glue. I wasn't confident that that was shut enough.
Like that much filling?
Yeah, try it.
Cool.
It's a learning process.
I'm gonna do one more piece of celery.
And you do need to fry these very soon to when you make them. Emily and I are going to fry some, and we're going to bake some. I am not sure how those baked ones are going to work out, but we'll experiment with you on camera. Especially on these little ones, you can see why it's important. All those vegetables are cut. Oh, that looks nice.
Should I put more filling in?
Yeah, put a little more filling in there. I like that. Nice, neat job. Anytime you think you don't have it glued, get some more glue. And I'm just kind of squeezing it together to seal it.
Glue here then.
Just in case.
Oh, so cute.
Oh, I like that on the triangle. Do another one.
Okay.
That looks great. We'll do a couple more on camera, and then we will start frying them. Again, just a tiny bit of filling.
I think those little ones look harder to do.
They are harder to do. Do you want to just stick with the large ones?
I don't care.
And my fingers are getting sticky. This is one of those processes you might be washing your hands a lot.
We have a wet rag here. I keep rubbing my fingers on.
I think I need more than that. See right there, it's not glued, so I'm getting that filled in. There's the vegetables sneaking out. I'm pulling it out. Nice job.
I'm doing extra glue. You told me it's important. I'm gluing everything.
Yeah, glue it.
This one's more like an egg square.
Well, that's kind of how...
It's like a little envelope.
It's kind of how my pierogies turn out. They're
any shape they happen to be.
Right, they're more rectangular. Hey, near Easter, let's show like a shortcut to how to make pierogies.
Or whatever shape they happen to be, pierogies.
Well, yeah. I have that little shortcut I'm going to show everybody.
They are better when you make them yourselves.
They are. We could show
Just
both.
like egg rolls.
Yep, we can show both. But, you know, I'm always in a hurry.
Right, sometimes you don't have enough time to make something from scratch. It's so nice that these are these vegan egg.
Oh, look how nice that one turned out.
Nice.
Oh, I've got two.
It's so nice they have these vegan egg roll wraps now. Oh, this one's not perfect.
That's okay.
Oh, is that not close enough?
No, we stick some glue in there.
I'm gonna be alright.
It'll be okay. Just glue it.
I got a little too much filling in there, I think. That's what happens.
It's tempting. It's tempting.
I know, I'm so full.
Okay, let's finish this part off camera. At the beginning of the video, I was telling you I'm going to try to bake some instead of fry them. I heated up this cast iron skillet. I'm going to spray it just slightly. Then I will put our egg rolls on here. Probably 15 to 20 minutes. I'll pull them back out and let you know how they go. If you're like me and Emily, we're always trying to avoid oil. All right, that's all I'm putting on. We'll be back. They've been in the oven for 10 minutes and I'm going to turn them. The reason that I used the hot griddle was I thought it would help brown them quicker. And also the oven rack is on the tallest position. I think at this point I'm just going to give them 5 more minutes. What do you think,
I think 5 minutes. I thought it was gonna be 10.
Yeah, I think just 5. We'll check. Okay, I'm popping them in the oven. I want to show you, if you're not using a thermometer, how you'll know if your oil is hot enough. See how I'm getting a little bit of spattering and some bubbles? That means the oil's ready to fry. For the safety precaution, you don't want to overfill where you're frying. And another precaution is keep a lid handy if perchance you're getting a fire or perchance your spattering is going a little bit crazy. Do not keep the lid on long though, because it will form water that will drip into the oil and cause problems. You can see I'm trying to turn them. Sometimes they don't cooperate. That one doesn't look like it's going to cooperate. I'm going to take them out of the oil. I'm draining them on paper towel. You can actually use rags, paper bags, or even newspaper. I'm ready for the next batch. For these larger egg rolls, I'm using tongs to place them in the oil and also to turn them. You're just going to wait until these are golden brown.
Do you know how many egg rolls we ended up with?
Yes, I do. We ended up with 51 small egg rolls from the wonton wraps.
And that was all of them?
That was all of them in that package, and we ended up with 9 of the larger ones.
We got all the egg rolls cooked up and we are back for a taste test. And you divided them how?
These ones were baked in the oven, and these all were fried.
We're gonna dive in?
Yeah, let's dive in.
I'm gonna start with a baked one.
Me
I'm
too.
curious to see what it's gonna be like. I don't know if it'll be. Oh, it seems a little crunchy. They're crunchier than I thought.
It's a surprise to me.
I didn't think they were gonna get
They're
crunchy in the
crispy.
oven.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna be crispy like what you're used to fried, but not a bad alternative.
Okay, I'm going to try a fried one.
Oh, I think I picked a really hot one. I think I picked a really hot
This
one.
is much more traditional. I could eat them either way, but I hardly ever eat fried food. I might want these fried for when I do eat fried food.
It is more like what you're expecting if it's fully fried, but if you're trying to get the oil out, not a bad option. I need a little more dipping sauce. We decided to do another little food experiment with these. We have stuffed and rolled these, and we were going to freeze them and then pull them back out and see how it goes.
It's been a few days, and our egg rolls just came out of the freezer. I put half of them in the oven and baked them, and I fried half of them. I'm going to taste them now for you. This is the ones that were baked. Too hot to talk. Those worked out just fine. This is one of the minis that were fried right from the freezer. Something that you need to watch is because it came out of the freezer, they were more spattery in the oil. So there was a lot more spatters. Just be cautious of that. These are absolutely fine too. So I think you could freeze them ahead of time and just fry them right before serving. One more thing I wanted to mention, if you do decide to freeze them, when you freeze them, make sure that they are not touching each other while they're freezing. The reason for that is when you take them out of the freezer and if they were touching and you pull them apart, it tears the wrapper. So then the filling, when you're cooking it, could fall out. Thanks for joining us. Please subscribe. If you have comments, make them below and we will try to get back to you if you have questions. Thank you again.
Here comes the blooper.
What are you going to talk about those? When you're done chewing?